My name is Kristen Wells, and I did the USDA for my agency report. For this project, I was assigned to speak with someone who worked with nutrition from the USDA Service Center in Abilene, Texas. However, I found that in the Abilene office, there is no one on staff that works with nutrition. Most of the people in the office work with agriculture in some form or fashion. Therefore, I will first talk about who I interviewed in the Abilene office, and then I will discuss a USDA employee I interviewed in Dallas that works a little closer with nutrition. Qualifications of the interviewee. Here in Abilene, I talked to Tim Hall, and he is the County Executive Director for the Taylor County Farm Agency. This USDA office is located in the First Financial Bank building on the south side of town. So, the overall of the USDA agency that works in Abilene encompasses hundreds of agencies, but they specifically have 29 special offerings that they offer. There can be things from agriculture agencies to nutrition education like MyPlate and FDA, and also things like health laws. However, this building in Abilene is mainly a farm agency, and their main job is to help farmers and ranchers with things that they need for their land and for their livestock. The clients that the Livestock Forage Program serve are farmers and ranchers within the community who are in need of suppliers for their land and livestock. So the clients are people of the general public but that own land and animals. In addition, the general public can be served in a minor way. The Abilene USDA office has many services. They offer 29 in total in just this one agency. More specifically, Tim Hall works with the Livestock Forage Program, which provides monetary services for the farmers and ranchers of Taylor County who do not have the funds to feed their livestock. Each adult cow needs about 20 acres of grazing land in order to sustain 5 months, which is the equivalent of $150. However, because of the awful drought in West Texas, many farmers do not have enough plentiful land for the cows to feed off of. Therefore, if a farmer or rancher has more cows than he does acres of land that are good enough for grazing, the farmer gets money from the USDA to purchase food products such as corn to feed their livestock. In order for this process to happen, people with PhDs in livestock and nutrition located in Washington, D.C. determine how many pounds of corn can feed a 1,000-pound cow, and that is the standard that is used to distribute monetary funding for farmers for their livestock. This is how they got the $150 price mark. So overall, this agency is great for helping farmers that lead to things that can happen with nutrition, but this agency's office specifically works with helping with funding of feeding livestock. So now I will talk about the person that I interviewed in Dallas and their position and job title and how they refer to nutrition. Even though this person didn't come from the USDA in Abilene, I thought it was good to promote this person's job because it shows a little bit more of the nutrition aspect of a USDA job. So, Shelley Myers works for the United States Department of Agriculture as a Consumer Safety Inspector, also called CSI, under the Food Safety Inspection Service, FSIS, as a field operator. In this area of the USDA, they work with food safety and the inspection of sites to help prevent food contamination. Specifically, Shelley works with many clients. She works with Tyson, In-N-Out Burger, and 7-Eleven because these are all companies that deal with meat and it needs the inspection of meat. So, the services that are offered and that Shelley participates in is first the meat inspector. She watches others inspect meat and makes sure that they're following the right procedures. The meat that are inspected include all meat, which is like poultry, red meat, turkey, etc. And she makes sure that they are following proper USDA guidelines for safety and handling of meats. Things such as putting on gloves and preventing cross-contamination and correct sanitation practices. In addition to inspecting meats, she also does observations of employees working in facilities to make sure that they know their rules and regulations that are for that specific USD meat plant and follow them exactly the way this handbook states they should do the procedures. Facilities are inspected on not only the inside but also the outside. There's also many hazard analysis critical control points, also called HACCP, periodically during the operation of a plant throughout the months and years to make sure they are holding up the sanitation regulations within the facility. Another job she has is an exports inspector. She inspects foods that are going to be shipped to other countries to make sure that the plant not only has followed regulations done by the USDA, but also the procedures of the other country that the goods are going to. Another service that is offered, or that she does for her job, is label verification. She makes sure that labels on foods are accurate and that they change the label when they alter what food goes into the product. This is a huge problem with the USDA because it creates food allergies and food allergy flare-up reactions whenever they do not follow the procedures correctly. Many times they will take out or add an ingredient to the food without changing the nutrition label, and this causes problems with undeclared allergens that can cause people to have severe reactions to food allergies. There is also verification of claims on labels that must be run through Washington, D.C. These claims are things such as fat-free, gluten-free, and all-natural, and those things always have to go to Washington, D.C., which is the main headquarters, to be approved, and they cannot be done by inspectors throughout the United States. A fifth service that Shelley does in her job is now working with child's nutrition. This is things like school lunch plants and inspecting places that prepare foods for school cafeterias. Another thing that she does that's not on her everyday daily calendar but on events and things on the weekends that sometimes she has work trips that she goes on is she goes around to county fairs to inform people about food safety practices. They hand out materials and flyers and stickers like the ones shown in the pictures, which ask questions and give information about how they can find out more about food safety online. The programs inform the general public on how to clean, sterilize, cool, and chill food and prevent the growth of common pathogens such as Ebola, Salmonella, and Listeria. They also do activities using wheels and that spin and ask questions, not only to adults, but they also have kid wheels, and they ask questions that people can answer. Overall, these services greatly impact the nutrition and health of the general public, and this agency impacts all of Americans. So the USDA's wide variety of services, but it can impact things from the food right before we are access to it, or it can be through feeding livestock and agriculture that are steps way, way, way before we consume our food.